welcome to this edition of Brush with Art. Today I'm going to be looking at another sunset. I do like a sunset painting, and this one has a mountain range in the foreground. So it's going to show perspective, but I also want to show you how easy it is to create something that looks really effective in watercolour. I'm going to be using my flathead brush today. That's all, just one brush. Would you like to win a prize? I'm giving away a Daler Rowney watercolour set. Comes complete with the travel box, the paints and brushes to go with it. To be entered in for this prize, if you can subscribe to this video and pop a comment down below, that would be fantastic. Doesn't matter what the comment is, whether you like or hate the painting I do today, or just to say hi. I will be drawing this on the 1st of October, and the lucky winner will be sent this pack first class. Good luck. Let's get cracking with the painting today. So I'm going to do, well, the plan is I'm going to do a sunset with a mountain range in the foreground. Let's give it a go. So I want to get a nice wash. So I'm going to be doing a wet on wet technique here to start off with. But before I do, I'm just going to think about my colours. I'm going to need my yellows, my reds and a bit of turquoise mixed in. I'm just going to set my colours up first. Just have a little colour there, so let's go with the yellow. Just before I put the water on the brush to do just to wet the paper. On here, I'm going to go a diagonal. I'm not going to go across the page. I'm just going to give the kind of the feeling of a slant in the skyline. Hopefully you'll see what I mean. So again, we're just doing a liberal wash. I haven't put a horizon line in yet. I haven't drawn anything in there. We're going to just paint it. Again, this is more of a sketch. It's not a detailed picture. Right, let's get this colour on. So I've got my yellowy red. I'm just going to streak it. I'm not going to go across the whole page with this. I'm just going to streak. That's it. So I'm going to leave some gaps. Doesn't matter how far you go down, it really doesn't. Okay, now I'm going to add a bit more red. The sky, maybe slightly, right, so that's what I want, that's good. You can see, still got the angle, still got that kind of angle of distance. There as well. Okay, as we come down to the horizon here, I'm just going to put a bit of turquoise in there as well, just to darken the mood slightly, make it a little bit duller. Doesn't have to be anything major. That's it, just down the bottom there. Great. Just mix it into there as well. Okay, so it looks like it's a few little wispy clouds in there as well. Okay, as you can see straight away, it just gives the sky a bit of dynamic as well. Go. Right, if you want to, don't be afraid to really go over the colours a bit more. If you want a bit more red in there, put it in. It's up to you how you do it. It really is. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry off. Right, I'm now going to add a mountain range, and I'm just going to show a bit of perspective here. So it's going to be a little bit lower here. It's going to be slightly higher here. And for this, I'm going to use a turquoise. Start off with. There's no wet on wet here, everything's dry. I'm just using the dry brush. So what I'm going to do is just feel my way around. I'm using the same brush as I have done before. As you notice, I'm just kind of seeing what happens. Yeah. Just using the side of my brush just to That's it. Okay, all I'm going to do is just fill in the gaps. So just bring it right down, that's it. Down into the horizon. Straight away, what you'll find, it gives that picture just a really nice dynamic straight away. Just going over it again just to darken it up. That's it. Just going to fade this down into the distance. Just going to make it a little bit lighter because I don't know, I want to emphasize maybe something even more in the foreground. There you go. Really like that. Really like that. Okay. That's a really simple technique as well. Really simple technique. I'm just using the brush. I'm just letting the brush do it. This is all from imagination. There's nothing more than that. And I'm just going to let that dry as well. Okay, so that's dry. Now, the reason we leave it to dry is we need a really crisp edge, and we won't get that, obviously, if it's wet underneath the next layer of paint. So now I'm going to do another mountain range. It's going to be slightly darker here, so I'm going to mix a slightly darker blue just so you can see it's darker blue, lovely colour that. Just like I did for the first mountain range, I'm just going to feel my way through, and you'll see I'm not being overly precise with it, just dropping it down into the horizon. Just bring it across here. That's it. Just let it drop down. A bit more colour into that. Might actually make that just a little bit darker as well. Let's just add a bit more of that dark blue. That's better. That's better. I'm using my same brush as I've done everything so far in these videos. And the beauty of this is that you can feel the direction of the mountains in the distance. So you can use the brush as if you're going down the side of the slopes of the hills. Also, it gives you a nice crisp edge because of the flat brush. Fantastic, excellent. And I'm going to leave that to dry. Okay, and the last mountain range in the forefront here is going to be very dark. So I've mixed my colours. I'm going very dark blue and just trying to mix a bit of black in there as well, really to darken it up. Now if you're wondering how I'm getting the colour and how comes, I'm just putting it on the page, well I'm not, I'm actually just testing it out as well. So I'm just testing the colours that I want just on it. So it's good to have a separate bit of watercolour paper just to get your mixes correct before you put it onto your painting. Right, so just going to bring the forefront mountain range into view here. So again, just let the brush do what you want. Bring it over that other mountain range. You can just drag it up here, and straight away you get the contrast and the distance. Just let it fade off into distance. What I really like, actually, I've used masking tape. I've used masking tape around here, and when you paint over the masking tape, it actually looks like a lake. I quite like that. I'm not going to keep it, but I'm going to quite like it. Right, let's just get a bit darker. I'm going to go even darker because sun's dropping down. That's it. Oh yes. Look at that. Love it. Love that. Now, I'm going to let that dry for a bit more. When we take this frame off, when we take the masking tape off, that's going to look really crisp on the sides. And there you go. There is a mountain range sunset.